I chose to come here today because I knew I had to take a stand for liberty. Now is the time for you to decide, what side of history do you want to be on?
At a time where it's so important that we have men and women of conviction, men and women of honor, and men and women of leadership. California has never been in such a time of peril as this one, with gas prices soaring, inflation skyrocketing, immigration that's out of control, homelessness, and people that are hopeless. People living in cities like Los Angeles, where they're literally getting necklaces ripped off of their neck, and people still trying to recover from a 2-year pandemic when everything's been shut down and canceled. Some of the politicians that have been extorting this country and this state for decades upon decades are the same people that have this so-called political experience. These people are not only part of the state swamp, they're part of the federal swamp. These poor excuses for human beings have done everything the last 2 years to divide us. They've talked about race, they've talked about gender, they've talked about the 49% that separates us instead of the 51% that unites us. As your next U.S. Senator, I promise to represent all Californians.
Truly leading is always about taking the first step to stand up when morally and ethically you don't feel like something is right. That's when you say sergeant, that's when you say colonel, that's when you say general, that's when you say governor. I'm not doing that. I didn't sign up for that. I'd rather lose my job than lose my soul.
I don't care what religion you are, I don't care what form of worship you have, and I certainly don't care who you voted for in 2020. Now, I have to be candid with you, California. I'm a Trump guy and I'm a Jesus guy, but I represent all the constituents of California without prejudice or bias. I think we need to get back to the commonalities that we have, what we have that binds us and bonds us together, the human issues that we have, and that's our kids. Fundamentally, you want to raise your kids in love the way you see fit, not the way big government sees fit, or Gavin Newsom sees fit, or the state legislature sees fit. And I'm the same way. I'm just like you. I've got a small business, and that small business has suffered the last 2 years. The backbone and bedrock of this country, every small business owner out there is just trying to figure out how to survive in wake of the last 2 years. But I'm a fighter, California. I've been on the road for you 2 years, 3 weekends out of every month, shoulder to shoulder with Californians and people across this nation, talking to people about medical freedom and really encouraging parents that they have a God-given right to be able to control what goes in their kids' brains and what goes in their kids' veins. So in a world and a country that has become so chaotic, where anarchy is everywhere, we need a true leader that knows how to run into battle instead of running away from it. You see, Marines, they never run, but they always stand up and fight. Let's put a fighter back in the United States Senate and a fighter back in Washington. God bless you, and Semper Fi.